Hey guys, I'm Brittany and I wanted to tell you all about the Speediance. My husband and I, we've owned it for about a month and we use it just about every day, maybe up to an hour a day. We both have different programs we do and wanted to tell you all about some of our likes, some of our dislikes, and overall we really highly recommend it and we just love using it. So I almost didn't purchase the Speediance because I really like the look of the Tonal. It was very compact. It just seemed clean, and I was a little bit worried this would be too large of a footprint. But I found it's a very small footprint. It blends very easily with our gym. You can see it's kind of here. It could fit nicely in a small corner of a room or your garage gym and not take up too much space. All right. So overall, the Speediance, I think we found it better looking than we expected. We were a little concerned on the quality. We couldn't tell when we were ordering it. It came packaged really well, and it's just not nice quality. It's a nice feel when you're actually changing the attachments. It's pretty smooth. We've used it for a month and no clunkiness. The cable very smooth itself. And one of the small features I like is it has this nice cross on the bottom, so it's great for my foot placement when I'm doing squats or any sort of other movement to keep my body alignment. One thing I was worried about when we purchased this was the width of the equipment compared to the Tonal, which has arms that come out. I really haven't found that to be a problem. I think for the most part, you can do all sorts of movements that can cross the cables, come out. I think in general, the barbell is quite long, so you have that length. I do, reach out and use this to the side if needed with attachments. So plenty of room and I'm not missing anything there. Probably the most used attachments are these handles and they hook on really nicely. I actually love these little balls that they hook onto. Really easy, you press in and it's attached. And the cool thing is the Speediance crew sends a few more of these little squares so you can add your own attachments and add the square and attach anything. So it's not a proprietary system, which is really nice, and they make it so that you can integrate with whatever you want. I actually want to bring in some Pilates straps soon and add those. So I'm just going to show you, they have a left and right handle, and they have Bluetooth buttons on either side of the handle. So when you're in a movement and you want to add the weight on, you can press it, add the weight, it'll come on, and then you're ready to lift. The barbell also comes with this nice foam attachment. I love this for hip thrusts. I really like hip thrusts. A lot of girls do. And it's just a nice add. Clearly, you could use a yoga mat as well, but it's also nice for when you're doing squats. And even my husband, during chest presses, he likes to kind of have it rest on his chest before he starts. And it gives a nice little buffer. So a nice add from the Speediance crew. I was so happy that Speediance sent a rope for different sorts of rope pulls. I love this at the gym, and I haven't had one at home, so it's one of the things I always do when I get to go to the gym. This does come with attachments for skiing. I've done the skiing a little bit. It's not easy. I don't do skiing at the gym, so I don't have a great comparison. But I would expect that it's not the same as having a ski machine, and the attachments they feel a little bit cheap compared to the other attachments that are sent in. So it's something where it's nice. You could change up your routine if you're looking for something fun to do different one day, but I wouldn't buy it for that feature only. One thing the Speediance doesn't come with, the bench is, as you can see, it's light, it's nice, it's flat. So it works. It's not a high quality bench. So we also have a Titan Fitness bench that we purchased prior to the Speediance. We were using with a barbell and everything else at our home gym. And we were concerned, would it work with the Speediance? Does it make sense? It's a lot heavier, so it's harder to get in and out quickly for the Speediance, but it does work quite well. You can see the length. It comes up against Speediance, and we have it to where you can wheel in and out and then make it into a decline if you might want to do decline bench. We did purchase the add-on of a rowing bar and a rowing bench, and the nice thing is the rowing bar, you can use this for other purposes than just rowing. You might attach it and use it for some sort of lat pull down or anything that's narrow where you don't want to use the bench press. All right, this is the rowing bench, and I actually just had my husband bring it out because it's really heavy. So if you're expecting to be using this a lot, that is a bit of a barrier. We store it in a different area. It's just hard to get out. It's pretty heavy. I'm sure it needs to be. Um, you know, I haven't used it that much. It doesn't feel as great as a rowing machine at the gym, for honest reasons, but it it's not bad. I mean, it's something that you can use as a warm up potentially. A lot of people like to do a 10-minute warm up before they start lifting weights. The feet and the angle of the feet are a bit odd, and I think that could be improved. There's not a lot of flexibility there. But in general, it works. I don't know if I would buy this as a rowing machine though. Just talking about the screen and the user interface, I'm on my profile. This has up to 3 profiles, which is nice. Actually, our son has one. He likes to do soccer workouts and things. But my husband and I each have our own profile. I can look at workouts, and they're constantly coming out with new workouts, which is nice, and it's kind of fun. Honestly, I do my own women's program outside of this, and I build my own, but they have a lot of great ones. I love their high volume booty lift. They have some great arm and back ones. And then my husband really, really likes the chest, arm, and back ones. There aren't any live classes, which is a bit different than some of the other platforms. I honestly don't mind it. It does have some HIIT workouts. It does have some activation workouts, and I've used those, and I wouldn't purchase it for just those. I'd really purchase it as a cable machine, but there are some nice extra features they have, and they will blend in some of the HIIT and some of the cable features if that's what you want to do too. So in purchasing this, one of the concerns with subscriptions, and same with a Tonal, I mean, we aren't huge on subscriptions monthly. And one of the things that came up was this had a deal for a lifetime subscription. And so we just went ahead and got it, and we're really happy we did. So we aren't paying monthly. We have the lifetime. We're really happy with that option. Right. So I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'10" for reference. And one thing that I find that could be a bit better is that the platform at the bottom is not quite long enough for some movements. My husband finds this also. He's almost 6 foot. And if you're doing any sort of lunge, your foot might be just off the back, which is not totally ideal. So one thing that I really miss about my workouts prior to the Speediance is my husband and I used to work out together in the gym. We would spot each other, we would trade off, and we'd always be doing things together, and it was kind of some shared time. And with the Speediance now, it's pretty much single workouts. It's really hard to go back and forth because you have your own profile on the Speediance and a workout that it takes you through. And it's just hard to switch off. So when he's on it, and I would have to use free weights or something while I wait for it. So that's one thing. You can make it work. It's just hard. The one thing about the searches is it can be kind of tough to find what you want sometimes because there are so many options for movements in the app. And so they do have filters, they do have lats and chest and triceps, and you can find it, but it takes a little bit of time. I do sometimes use the free lift feature, and it's just easy to switch back and forth. It doesn't record things as well, but you can really move around quite quickly, and you can put the weight up if you know what you want to do and you know your movements and you don't want the instruction from the Speediance. So I'm going to demo a hip thrust for y'all. And as I mentioned, I'm pretty tall and the platform is not quite long enough. So I have my extra plate here. One thing I like about the screen is that I can tilt it back, and so I could mess with the weight from here if I wanted, or I can still use the little black console. So really easy. Get in position. I have my black padding on, and I will press the Bluetooth to connect it, and press the Bluetooth for weight on. So now it's push down the weight, the fans come on, get in position, and I can start the hip thrust. All right, from here I'm going to go to squat, and you can see it took the weight away right away when I finished my movements. All right, guys, I'm going to do a squat, and so I have my barbell connected on the bottom. I like to keep this black foam padding on just for my neck. And I have my little black console here, so I find the middle button. I like that I have the little cross here to line up for my feet alignment. And so then I'll put my weight on. I'll count down 3, 2, 1. The Speediance is great, but it still doesn't cover everything I like to do at the gym. We still keep we have a regular barbell, we have some dumbbells and kettlebell, a pull-up bar, but that seems to really make our whole gym, and it covers just about everything.